So today I wanted to speak to Tyler, Officer Tyler, because I would like to convey uh, the effects of lack of actions on his part to me. Um, when a victim comes to an officer and says somebody was watching their rape video that's documented in a human trafficking case, and they lay ground evidence of being trafficked as a child, for an officer to not make that victim's case a priority actually shows a lot. When the victim says that in the next county over, they had an incident with some individuals at a bar on 5th and Washington, and the individual said that they were going to rape the victim with bats and then shoot them in the face, as to teach them a lesson about suing the police department. When a victim is talking to an officer about this while they are giving a police report, the officer should take extra precautions and extra procedures as to ensure the victim's safety, privacy, and rights are being acknowledged and protected. And this was not done, which allowed those that had traumatized me previously and currently to physically walk up to me and talk to me, simply because somebody didn't do their job properly. I understand as law enforcement, things are busy and complicated. But as a law enforcement officer, you also have a higher duty and expectations for certain things. So if a rape victim comes to you and says help and shows you evidence of everything, and you allow the abusers to continue their actions towards the victim, are you not enabling and protecting the abusers? Now, this may burn a hole in your ass, sir, but this is what your actions make me feel like. These are the thoughts that the lack of actions have caused me to have. So I get to freely speak about that. It is not my job to be appropriate, respectful, and polite while those around me allow me to get hurt and traumatized further. It is not my job or duty to make people feel good about me being hurt and traumatized. Now, if a victim comes to you and says that they were arrested while holding up a human trafficking flyer, stating in the arrest video This individual is documented in my Polaris case. And I had contacted the sheriff for 2 weeks prior in regards to this person and the others. And that was ignored, but I was still arrested. When I am explaining this to the officer taking the report on my rape video, I would think that the officer would be trying to address this situation and look into it as so it could be addressed appropriately. But that was not done either. However, I am sure the officer finds my responses rude and maybe even disrespectful. He may find these things rude and disrespectful, as he does not find his own actions rude and disrespectful. When people don't do their jobs, it allows others to hurt me. And I will not stroke anybody's ego and make anybody feel comfortable, as that's happening, and they allow it to happen. My job is not to prove my trauma. My job is to explain my trauma, and those that get paid to deal with it address it legally and correctly while I go heal from 46 years of trauma. But instead, I'm forced to prove every bit of it as to protect myself from those in the very environment that are allowing it to happen. And I am judged for how I function as people allow this. Now, some of my words and some of my responses may be very inappropriate, threatening, vulgar, offensive. However, what's been allowed to be done is traumatizing, illegal, inappropriate, and a whole slew of other things. I do not believe, in my opinion, that people who allow somebody to be traumatized and hurt has the right to legally judge how they function and how they conduct themselves. Because in my opinion, that is allowing a rapist to prosecute their victim. And I find that even more offensive. So, I hope I have properly conveyed, Tyler, what your lack of actions has done and allowed to be done, and the effects of. And if you are pissed off, so am I. Have a good day, sir.